Okay, today is day 5 of our 11-day journey as we build our business plan for 2022. This is totally unscripted, and it's just a brief tutorial on the 5th step we talked about during our 2-hour goal setting and planning for 2023 Zoom event that took place. Today, we're going to be looking at your numbers. How many transactions do you need in order to be successful in a real estate business? And one of the first things I do whenever I've met with a new agent coming into my company was to find out 2 things. How much do you need to earn in order to pay all your bills, to keep things current, and just to be able to exist, make your car payment, your rent or house payment, the food, those expenses. Second question I ask, how much do you want to make? Those are 2 very different numbers, but discovering those numbers is much easier when you know what you have to do in order to get to the numbers. So this isn't about all the things you need to do in order to be successful and close the number of transactions that you need to do one of the 2, make the minimum amount that you need to, or the wonderful amount that you want to make to. It's really about how do you figure how much those numbers are. Many people that come into the business have no idea. They have no idea whether they can earn $10,000 a year or $100,000 a year. So breaking down the numbers really helps when we try to do that. So we're going to look at from our study, we're going to look at the basic numbers starter. And as you may recall, if you took place in our training, I gave you 6 different markets in the greater Dallas area. I gave you McKinney, Prosper, Grand Prairie, Grapevine, Keller, Flower Mound. Now listen, these numbers can be found in a number of ways. This one was just found by using list reports from a local lender that provides these numbers to us. Very easy to get. You can also go to the MLS. You can do a search for your area, your city, your town. There's a number of ways to find the numbers, but for the sake of discussion, the number I used for our study was that of Grapevine, where our office is at. And so when we look at Grapevine, the report for December showed that the median price, that's 50% sell for more, 50% less, is $549.9. Okay, $549.9. So let's just say that you're going to work in that marketplace and everything averages out that you do to $549.9. We know in this business that the commission splits are between 2 and 3%. I use 2.5%. Now remember, this is one side of the transaction. So if you're representing the seller only, the one side of this transaction would be 2.5%. If you're working the buyer, it's 2.5%. If you had both, it would be 5%. But for this study, we can see that the gross commission income from a sale like this is $13,747.50. We can see that. And we know that with our 70% split or a 70% split wherever you are at is 96.23. For the sake of discussion, I figured the closing cost, transaction fees, all of that would be $1,000. I think it might be a little high, but let's just figure $1,000. My goal was to find that number you need as an agent to focus on to build your income for the year 2023. If you closed one transaction, you could expect that you're going to take home $86,23.25. Now, this doesn't take into consideration your licensing fees, your continuing education, the fees, other fees that you have to do the real estate business. But based on this, 86.23, and this tells us if you close 3 transactions for 25 would be 25, 869.75. 8 would be 68,986. And I think all of you know, as expressed by Paul, that our goal in our office is the minimum of 8 transactions for every agent. As a matter of fact, that's the minimum that Exit asked for in our contract that we signed with the formula for Exit. So our minimum goal should be 68,986. Now, how do you get there? Well, that's a topic for another time. But no, if you want to make 68,986, you need to do 8 transactions in the Grapevine marketplace. All right, pretty basic. So figure now what your goal is, what you have to make, what you want to make, and then move on from there. Then I wanted to talk to you briefly about residual income. This year, we're going to have a special focus on residual income and sponsoring in our office. It's one of the key ingredients to being part of Exit, but it's one that isn't used as much as it should be. And so we're going to have a special emphasis on this year, led by Bob McKinnon, which we're so fortunate to have Bob. Bob is actually the person who is the mastermind behind putting together how to sponsor people into the company. So this will allow you to figure how many people do you need to sponsor and what are you looking for as far as income goes. So we're not going to spend a lot of time here today. I want you to go back to the paperwork. The paperwork, by the way, is all in our Facebook page for our agents, for us. It is loaded there if you didn't get it. If you did get it, figure what you want to make and how many people you need to sponsor. I believe a minimum goal should be sponsoring 2 people a year for anyone. I think that's a minimum goal. Then next, I want to just stop the share, and I'm going to reshare again here if I can, and hopefully it's showing up. This came from a website called therealestatetrainer.com. So how many people do you need to talk to close 10 transactions, 8 transactions? Well, what this looked at, their numbers provided us for a beginner, for somebody starting out, they need to make about 1 to 5 contacts an hour when prospecting. And they're looking at about 150 contacts to 1 transaction. 150 contacts to 1 transaction. Bill Nasby, who really is the door knocking guru ever, felt that the number was 50 conversations to 1 transaction. I think doors might be more powerful because you're looking face to face with people that are considering buying or considering selling. You have a face to face appointment, so to speak, at their door. And so for beginners, 150 to 1 transaction. For moderates, 70 to 1. And for experienced, 25 to 1. So people are generally, agents are looking for, what is the number? Well, there you go from one source of the number of people you need to talk to. Listen, we know in this business, it is key to talk to people. You can't stay in business if you don't talk to people. And so that should be another goal for you. So I hope this tutorial has helped you know the basic number that you need, what the average should be of each transaction to get that number that you need to know to be successful in this business. I hope this has helped. Have a great day.